Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my Sephora recommendations for the sale that I believe begins tomorrow for VIB Rouge. I'll leave all the information down below with the dates and all the pertinent information. But let's go right into the recommendations. I'm going to kind of go out of order. Usually I'll go from skincare to base to eyes, etc. But I want to start out with some of the things that I think you'll want to pick up because they are limited edition and I think they will go quite quickly. Starting with this Dior palette, this is the eyeshadow palette that I'm recommending, not just for limited edition, but for, gosh, Sephora in general right now, because I have been really impressed with this one. This is the Dior Backstage eye palette. Again, it's limited edition. This is in 008 Khaki Neutrals. And I've been trying out a lot of palettes lately, especially a lot of holiday palettes. And this has been my favorite holiday palette so far. So even compared to the other Dior products that have been coming out, this one is my favorite one. I love the green shades in here. I think they're quite classic. Really pretty on the eye, deliver a lot of pigment if that's what you want, but it's also quite soft. And so even though it says glitter, which is something that I didn't want, and metal and glitter are two things I don't love. I love a satin finish, and there were some things in here that didn't fit that bill, but even the glitters and the metals are quite soft. Plus it comes with a primer, so if you wanted to try this, I would definitely recommend it. I think you get more for your money on this one compared to the other palettes. Now, if you wanted to pick up any of the Dior Quints, those are beautiful. All of the ones I've picked up, and I have most of them, they are beautiful. I can list some of the neutral palettes down below that I really like. And if you really would like some swatches of them, let me know which ones you would like and I can leave them in the, not in the comment section, in the community tab, commitment tab. Hello. The community tab, I can leave swatches for you there. Just let me know which ones you'd like to see. And then I have to mention this NARS palette, and I don't try a lot of NARS out. I don't know why, I just haven't, but I was really impressed with the formula on this one, and I love blush. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. I focus on luxury beauty, as you can see, and I have a lot of experience with Chanel, Dior, Tom Ford, Chantecaille, gosh, so many brands, but NARS not so much. So if you like those brands, please make sure to subscribe and to come back. We'd love to have you. But as for this NARS palette, I looked it up just to see if this was a new formula to them. It looked like it was new. And I also read a little bit about it, and it looks like an innovative new formula. So it's got, I think, don't quote me because I can't remember the exact words, but it was something about suspended microspheres. And anytime they talk about microspheres, I like the finish because it's a very gentle glow. You refract the light in a really soft way. And this not only refracts the light really in a very subtle way, there's nothing glittery in here, no intermittent shimmer. So if you're just learning about what I like something very subtle, but with a little bit of glow. And this has a little bit more glow than, say, the Gucci, but not as much as the Valentino. And I love the shades in here. I think they're so pretty. And even that highlighter is really beautiful. So this is limited edition holiday as well. So if you love blush, you'll probably love this one. I think there are colors in there for everybody. Then this is a funny product, but I have it on my lips now. And if you don't love like heavy lipstick or uncomfortable lip gloss, anything like that, you're going to really like this. This is that green Dior product. It's the one in 028 Dior Addict Lip Glow. I really love it because it's comfortable, easy to wear, especially on chapped lips as we get into colder weather. This is a really nice one because it just soothes dry chapped lips, and I tried this first with that kind of lip. I didn't pay attention that I needed to actually exfoliate before I apply a lip product, but it worked really beautifully on that. Has a very soft, like sweet mint fragrance to it, but it just delivers the prettiest glow, and that's all I have on my lips right now, and that has quickly made it to my bag. I did get it out of the bag for this. This is new as well. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush. This is the Brightening Flawless Finish Powder, and this one is in fair medium, and it's a good shade for me. Even though I'm medium toned, I just think the other shade might add color, and I really wanted it to just brighten, lift the bone structure, and blur. I think it's such a lovely product, and I have it on now. I would definitely pick this up, and I am very picky about my powders, so there are very few powders that I like. that I go to over and over again that has quickly made it to the top of something that I use on a daily basis. Speaking of powder, so this one I don't set with though. I set with a different powder, and if you have been here, you know I love Chantecaille's Perfect Blur Powder. That is my holy grail powder. It just blurs, it makes the texture look smoother. It also helps blur discoloration, which I have in the front here. But I did try this again and I like it. It's very nice. It still doesn't beat the Chantecaille, but if you wanted to try it, this is the Westman Atelier. This is their Vital Press Skincare Powder, and I have mine in Creme. Now this is a really good shade match for me. I have it on now. So the first time I tried this, I used a brush and it wasn't exactly the best to smooth texture over, so I have pores in the front. Some of you suggested using a puff, which I did, so since then I've been using it with a puff and it's really nice. It doesn't compete with the blur powder, but it would probably be my next best bet next to that blur powder, but with a puff. So I used that today. And then we have another limited edition item, the Hourglass palette. So if you saw the video, I picked up all 3 of them, and there's really one for light, medium, and more rich tones. So this one works really well for medium tones, and it's the only one with a bronzer. This is the Elephant palette, and you can see it has 2 lovely blushes. It has a bronzer. It has 2 finishing powders and also has a highlighter. So I use all of them except for the highlighter because I'm not a highlighter person, but I like that it only has 1 highlighter because that means I can use all of these. And this is one of the few palettes that Hourglass has come out with that I would use all of the shades, again, except for this one as much, but it's pretty if I was going to use a highlighter more frequently. But these are all definitely things that I would use. I didn't use it today because I used other products, but I do have a dedicated video to these palettes if you wanted to see this on. So I've been working on improving my skin over time, and the reason well, not the only reason, but one of the reasons I want to do that is because I don't really enjoy wearing foundation, and foundation was more important to me when I had to even out my skin tone even more. But now I can go with something a little bit more lightweight, not all over my face, which I love because yeah, it just is something I can feel in my skin. So it's gotta be a really wonderful foundation or something that's very minimal. So I'm recommending this complexion stick by Merit Beauty, and this is in the shade Suede. And I've had the pleasure of working with them in the past. But this is not a sponsored video, and I am recommending this one because it serves as a concealer as well as on my dark spots. Plus it's so quick and easy to use. And I feel like we're kind of moving in the direction of less makeup these days, at least I am. So I love this because it's so simple, easy to use, and it's a clean beauty brand as well. So if you're interested in something more simple for makeup, then this is a great one, and it really helps make that skin look more beautiful. As for concealer, I don't always go in with concealer with that because I'm not looking for a totally perfect look, but for more perfected looks, I go in with this, or I can also use this in lieu of foundation and just spot conceal. So I think I demoed this the first time I used it with just this and no foundation. So this is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer by Charlotte Tilbury. I have 2 here in 8.5 and 8. 8.5 dries down to a more peachy tone, so I use that here in the front. And then I used, I used the Merit complexion stick under the eye, but then I went in with 8, which is lighter and brighter and not as peachy. And I went in this area right here where I normally apply La Prairie, and I brightened right there under the eye. I did want to mention this earlier because I think this is going to go because it's rarely on sale, and this is typically eligible. So hoping that it still is on the sale, but this is a Dyson Airwrap, and this is the one for long hair. So they have come out with a long hair version for this. And I believe the barrels are longer on this, so a couple of the attachments accommodate long hair better. And this one has the ability to switch the direction. And in the Get Ready With Me video, I do a little demo of how I use this. So I have some loose waves in today. Actually, it's quite humid, so it's not holding as well as it normally does, but I do like it more loose like this anyway. So I did want to mention I did pay full price for this Airwrap myself. I would have liked to wait for sale, but it even was selling out at full price. There is a kit that I hope is still available, but it comes with a travel case, and I wish that's one thing I had for this. I've actually looked it up to see if a travel case is something I can buy separately, and I want to say it was something like $50 because I do love to travel with this. That's how much I love it. I want to take this with me because it serves so many purposes. It dries my hair, it curls my hair. I no longer use the Dyson dryer, which I have recommended in the past, but since I have this, I have no need for the dryer, although my husband uses the dryer, because I will use this attachment to dry my hair, and it's really fast. I don't have much hair though, so that might be why it works really well for me. But if I never had the dryer and was looking at a Dyson product, I would just pick up the Airwrap. So it does a great job of curling my hair, drying my hair, makes it really shiny because it's like a blowout at the same time because you have the dryer function going the whole time. So if you want to see the demo, I just did part of it because it's really hard for me to do the demo just using the viewfinder, but I show you at least how to make the curls, and then you get to see the finished product and kind of how I troubleshoot in case it's not the exact shape I want it to be. I predict that one will go quickly if you wanted to pick that up. And so I talked about how I want my skin to look really nice. A few things that I use that are found at Sephora are the Peter Thomas Roth Anti-Aging Cleansing Gel. So I will do a cleansing balm first, and then I follow up with that. I'll switch between that and the Chantecaille Rice and Geranium Foaming Cleanser. That's another one I use, but right now I'm using the Peter Thomas Roth. And then I also am using this by Merit. It's new. It's the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. They sent this to me, but I have been using it. It has niacinamide in it, and also very nice, soothing, hydrating ingredients in here, really gentle on the skin. You have to shake this though, because it's a biphase, and then it says massage 2 or 3 pumps, but they say for oily skin 1 pump, combo skin 2 pumps, and dry skin 3 pumps. So for me, 2 pumps. I have combo skin. Yeah, it melts really nicely into the skin. I use it morning and evening, so I'm looking for more of those brightening benefits, but also my skin has been more dry as we change seasons here, so it's really helping with that, soothing the skin, absorbs nicely, doesn't sit on the skin, no residue. It's a lovely product if you wanted to try it. I also use the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair in the evenings, and I have, since I used this, gosh, I don't even know how long ago, I stopped using it and then I started using it again. I really love it, and this has lasted a while. What I noticed the most though is that my skin feels nice and soft after I use this, and that's what I was missing when I stopped using it. Really lovely product, and has high ratings for good reason. Oh yeah, I have to talk about this because I've been loving this. Where are all of the things that go with it? I know many of you know this who've been here. I'm 50 years old for those of you who don't know, so I try to maintain my skin as much as possible using devices or anything topical. I don't have treatments, I don't have fillers, Botox, anything like that. So anything else I can do that's at home, I will try. So I've been using the NuFACE device, and this is the original attachment like this for the face, and then this is for eyes and lips. So I picked this up the last few months and love them both. I use this as frequently as it says to use on the packaging, so you do have to use it frequently, because otherwise you don't see the benefits as much as if you use it infrequently. Just follow the directions. Make sure though it is fine for you to use. There are some things you'll want to check your doctor with if you have certain conditions. It's on microcurrent, so just know that there are some things in there you want to check with your doctor in case you're concerned. I use this gel primer just for the eye area though, because this leaves a residue on my face and it kind of balls up, and you can see it in my hair, you can see it on my face. I do not enjoy this part, and that's one reason I wasn't using that NuFACE as much, is because this created an extra step, because I would have to do it in the evening, I would have to wash my face again. It was just a lot of hassle to use this product. But they had since come out with this NuFACE Silk Creme Firming and Brightening. It says with 8 phytoactives. So brightening I love anyway, but it says you can use this as your microcurrent activator. It says apply skin creme onto clean skin in sections before your NuFACE microcurrent device. May be used alone for dramatically brighter and firmer skin. You can use it alone or with the NuFACE device. So I can use this in the morning and I apply this, and it's like a cream. So you can see here, It's like a creamy product versus the gel. And so I can put that on, use my device, and then go ahead and apply makeup without having to wash it off. I know they say you can leave this gel on there, but it just doesn't work with anything. So like I said, I'll use it in the eye area and then I'll remove it after I'm done using that device in the eye area. But this has really changed the game in terms of using this product. So I'm able to use it more frequently because of this product right here. Plus, you know, I love brightening. Another brightening product is this topical. As you can see, I've used this up pretty well, but it also has niacinamide. It's got licorice root, niacinamide, oh, I said that, melatonin and tranexamic acid and kojic acid. So those are things that have been associated with brightening in many other brands. So I saw this on Dr. Lay, I've said that before, but I've been using this on my darker spots if you wanted something to try out. It's not that big of an investment as some of the other products I've tried that didn't have the results that they said they would have. So I have been using that one. And then always, always protecting the skin. So this is a Mineral Shield sunscreen and it's by Tatcha. So I love everything about this except the packaging. So this is a brand new one. Otherwise it would be flaking off. The paint would be flaking off. It gets on my hands, gets on my face. That's the only thing I don't like about this. I love everything else about this. Love that it's SPF 50 and love it also has niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. I also love that it's in this container, really easy to travel with. So I love, love, love this SPF. I have many backups of that. Another innovative product that I love is this Tower 28 mascara, and I have it on today. It does all those things. Lifts, separates, volume, and length all at the same time. Can't say enough about this. It doesn't flake, doesn't smudge. They did a really amazing job with this, which makes me wonder why people make things that are already out there because there are so many mascaras that people love. This really has risen to the top quite quickly. Still hasn't beaten my Fossil Longest Lash Mascara by Chantecaille. That has peptides that support lash growth, but this one is very, very close second. They did a really, really nice job with that. This is another innovative product. This is the Merit Bronzer. And the reason this is innovative is that it's in a stick form, which a lot of bronzers, either they're powder, they're going to be in a compact, or even the cream bronzers are in a compact. And I know that Westman Atelier has one, but it's more creamy. This is more of like a balm. So this is more translucent. You can see through to the skin, very naturally on the skin. This is a lovely one in case you want it. This is in the shade Sen, and it's the best match I found for medium skin tones. So I have that on today. Every time I use this, I'm really happy with it. Very easy to use. Oh yeah, brushes. This Merit brush, #1 brush, is so easy to use with the Merit products. So I do use this with the Merit complexion stick as well as the bronzer. But you already know what foundation brush I'm going to recommend. Many of you have purchased this. Many of you have purchased 2 of these because you have seen it in action here. You've heard me talk about it. It's the Shiseido brush, and it was originally created to be a polishing brush, which is the original reason I purchased this. I've been looking for something to kind of finish after powder has been applied to really get a smooth kind of surface at the end. But I, for some reason, started using this as a foundation brush. I can't even remember why. And I was really impressed with it. And I think it's the fact that it's got 4 petals here that act as 4 brushes together. So you're really applying and kind of buffing it in at the same time. And it's got this domed shape as well on each of those petals. The only trick is washing this. So I've had lots of questions about how to wash this. I use a washing mat that has a texture to it, as well as the Beauty Blender brush, not brush, the soap, the solid soap. So that's another recommendation I have, is the Beauty Blender solid soap. I do have to scrub it with the mat to really get the product out of it. So I will dry it like this, and then I'll turn it like this so we can get more air in, but just to get all that excess water out first. And it does take about a day to dry. So that's another reason I have to, and another reason some of you have to. So one's washing, the other one can dry, but it's has unparalleled results when it comes to the appearance of foundation. It is flawless. There are no streaks. It's very even. It's perfect every time. So love that Shiseido brush. Oh yeah, I love the Shiseido cotton squares as well. So I really tried to do the reusable pads. I can't figure out how to work that into my routine. So I do stick to the Shiseido squares. We're all over the place. I was trying to go in some sort of order here, but we are going out of order. Speaking of things that are out of order, I love blush, and the Valentino blush in number 9 is in the running for my favorite blush of the year because it just solves so many problems. It blurs, it perfects, it has the loveliest glow on the skin. It makes my skin look better. That's another thing with this NARS palette. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it looked like my pores were smoother when I used this the first time and since then. So it's like a skin perfecting kind of blush as well, that new formula they have. But this Valentino blush is actually an eye to cheek product, so you can use it on the eyes as well, but I use it on my cheeks, and this is in the shade number 9. We also have a Gucci blush, so if you like matte with just the slightest glow, just the slightest glow, then you will love this Gucci blush. This is number 4, and we've gone back and forth about identifying another shade to pick up, and I have not found one. You've let me know. I think number 5 doesn't look amazing if you have my skin tone, so I didn't buy it because of that, so thank you so much. But number 4 is really beautiful. I love that one. And I was also thinking of picking up another Valentino blush, so if you have this in other shades, please let me know what you would recommend. As for primer, I usually use a Chantecaille primer, or I've been pulling for this one. This is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. In fact, they remind me a little bit of each other. In fact, they have the same kind of smoothing feeling on the face. So that's what I like about this. It's translucent, it's smoothing, it feels really natural. It feels like skincare. I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoy it. So it just gets my skin ready for foundation. It feels really comfortable on the skin, really natural feeling. I don't have many eyeliners that are available at Sephora. I have a lot of Chanel, I have a lot of Chantecaille, I have a lot of Isom, which are really nice as well. Looking over here, oh, Victoria Beckham. I think I have all of her liners except for the new ones. But I do have this one by Hourglass, and this one is the Voyeur Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. And this one is in, what are you in? Forest. And this is so waterproof. I had kind of gotten it started on my hand here because one thing about this is don't leave the cap off, because I did that and it was really dry. So make sure you put the cap back on, but I wanted to just test it, make sure it was ready to go. And I had drawn this on my hand, and I've since washed my hand about 4 times, and this is with soap, and this is what it looks like. So it is very waterproof if you're wondering. That's a lovely one, and it goes well with that Dior eye. I'll be doing a get ready with me, so make sure to tune in for that so you can see everything in action if you're curious. We also have this Dior Show Onset Brow. I love this. It's got hold, but it's also a soft hold, so it doesn't need a lot of product to get your brows where you want them, and you can kind of brush through them if it's too much product, and it still has hold, which is what I which is what I did today, because I had added too much at first and then I needed to brush through it, and it still had the hold, which I really liked. And then for a brow pencil, I don't know where it is. I just had it. I used it today. I've been going back and forth between, there's a Chanel Duo that I use. It's a powder and a gel, and then another eyebrow pencil, but the Gucci pencil is still very nice. And I have that on today. And if you want to see that in action, of course, I'll show you, but I go in with the Dior brow gel first and then the pencil. So still one of my very favorite pencils I found for the brows. This is probably the most discombobulated recommendations video I've done, because we went down one path and then just kept meandering. So we have something totally out of order here. This is by Westman Atelier in Chouchette. This is a cream blush. If you are a cream blush fan, I love this color. It's so pretty. I thought it wouldn't show up on my skin, but it's very lovely. And this is one of the cream blushes that does not lift foundation or concealer underneath. If you're concerned about that, this is really pretty. For hair, this is also on my wish list. I need to get another one, the Orbe Superfine Hairspray, and it's got to be the super fine one, not the super fine. I think there's one that has a firm hold. That one's a little sticky for me. It has to be something really light, and I just use the slightest amount just to tame a little bit of my baby hairs here, and then anything that needs smoothing out here. Usually it doesn't, but it holds a little bit, but it's not too heavy. So if you have hair like me, where I don't have very many strands of hair, but the hair is heavy, each individual piece is heavy, so it can get weighed down quickly. And because I don't have much, it can look flat to my head. So this is really important that this is very lightweight product. So I love this one. I also love the Christophe Robin shampoo, which I don't have right now, but it's in the tub. It's got the sea salts in there. That's a lovely one. And I really have been wanting to pick up the brush. And one of you let me know there's, oh, what is it called? Briogeo has a brush, like a scalp brush. So that's actually on my wish list. I would like to pick that up because I think those two would work really well together. And you let me know the Briogeo brush can be cleaned easily as well, which is important. If I forgot something, I will include it here. I do really just want to give you things that I know work really well, have worked really well for me in the past. And these new products are quickly working their way into the regular routine. So I've had a lot of experience with most of these products, so I am giving you the best of the best recommendations because that's what I do here on this channel, everyday edit. I am constantly editing, trying to find the best of the best products for you so you can get the most out of your purchases. As for my wish list, I have a few things here. Not too many, but a few. Because again, I like to curate really excellent selections. I'm looking at this Guerlain G Quad eyeshadow palette, and there are 3 shades here, and I'm looking at Imperial Moon. That looks really pretty. It looks like a beautiful neutral palette with some unique shades in there for a neutral palette. I feel like Majestic Rose is pretty, but I don't love like those shades on my eyes. Like that magenta I think is stunning, but the pink, those aren't shades that I would normally pick. And then this one in the Royal Jungle looks pretty, but I feel like it reminds me of a Tom Ford palette. But Imperial Moon looks like it's unique, so I might pick that one up. Like I said, another Valentino blush. What was the one I was considering? Number 4 is what I'm looking at. Sweet Rebel Warm Rose with light reflecting pearls. I think that one might be really beautiful. And I did not mention any Tom Ford this time. And usually I feel like I have Tom Ford in here somewhere. So the Soleil Neige eye color quads look interesting. I like the one with rose, gold, and copper tones. Even though I said I don't like pink, I don't see much pink in there. I'm almost interested in the lighter one. Let me know if you know anything about them, what you think, if you want to see them. But that's what I'm looking at. Other than that, yeah, if I can think of other things that I was thinking of, I'll list them because I feel like my list is quite short because I feel like I've identified so many of the best. But let me know if I'm missing other items that are the best of the best for the Sephora sale. I would love to know what your recommendations are. Of course, I will do some shopping and let you know what my list is below. Or maybe, how should I do this? Or maybe list it in the community tab once I put my list together for a final list of what I'm buying. Maybe that will be helpful because I know so many of you have what I have, but I need to buy backups. Like I need to buy backups of this. I need to buy backups of my SPF, those kinds of things. Beauty blender soap. So I like to take advantage of the sale for things that I know I go all the way through. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.